Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada. श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महाराज की, प्रहलाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, निताई गौर सुंदर की, पतित पावन श्री प्रभुपाद की, समस्त गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Restoring from Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter number 20, entitled as Lord Vishnu's appearance in the sacrificial arena. Text number 37. Bhagavan api rajarseha sopadhyayasya chachyutah haranna iva mano amushya swadhama pratyapadyata. भगवान अपि राजर्षे सोपाध्यायस्य चाच्युतः हरन् इव मनो अमुष्य स्वधाम प्रत्यपद्यत। भगवान अपि राजर्षे सोपाध्यायस्य चाच्युतः हरन् इव मनो अमुष्य स्वधाम प्रत्यपद्यत। भगवान् अपि राजर्षे सोपाध्यायस्य चाच्युतः हरन् इव मनो अमुष्य स्वधाम प्रत्यपद्यत। भगवानपि राजर्षे सोपाध्यायस्य चाच्युतः हरन्नीव मनोऽमुष्य स्वधाम प्रत्यपद्यत भगवानपि राजर्षे सोपाध्यायस्य चाच्युतः हरन्तीव मनोऽमुष्य स्वधाम प्रत्यपद्यत भगवानपि राजर्षे सोपाध्यायस्य चाच्युतः हरन्तीव मनोऽमुष्य स्वधाम प्रत्यपद्यत. Word for word meaning: Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Api, also, Rajrase, of the saintly kings, Sa Upadhyayasya, along with all the priests, Cha, also, Achyutha, the infallible Lord, Haran, captivating, Eva, indeed, Manaha, the mind, Amustya, of him, Swadhama, of his abode, Pratyapadyata, returned. Translation and purport by Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: The infallible Supreme Personality of Godhead, having captivated the minds of the king and the priest who were present, returned to his abode in the spiritual sky. The infallible Supreme Personality of Godhead, having captivated the minds of the king and the priests who were present, returned to his abode in the spiritual sky. Purport: Because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is all spiritual, he can descend from the spiritual sky without changing his body, and thus is known as Achyutha, infallible. When a living entity falls down to the material world, however, he has to accept a material body, and therefore in his material embodiment he cannot be called Achyuta, because he falls down from his real engagement in the service of the Lord. The living entity gets a material body to suffer or try to enjoy in the miserable material conditions of life. Therefore, the fallen living entity is called Chuta, whereas the Lord is called Achyuta. The Lord was attractive for everyone, not only the king but also the priestly orders who were so much addicted to the performance of Vedic rituals. Because the Lord is all attractive, he is called Krishna, or one who attracts everyone. The Lord appeared in the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Prithu as Kshirodakshai Vishnu, who is the plenary expansion of Lord Krishna. He is the second incarnation from Karanodakshai Vishnu, who is the origin of material creation and who expands as Garbhodai Vishnu, who then enters into each and every universe. Kshirodakshai Vishnu is one of the Purusha who controls the material modes of nature. Om Tassat. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum Langyayate Giri Yat Kripatamaham Bande Sri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Iswaram. So Prabhupada is purport is describing about the meaning of Achyuta. So I've also got the name Achyuta, Gopinath Das. So Achyuta, see here in beautiful verses, no? the Lord is called Achyutha here. Why he is called Achyutha? Like Krishna is being addressed by Arjuna in different names, and similarly Krishna also addressing Arjuna in different names when he's speaking Bhagavad Gita. So one of the name Arjuna is telling Madhava, you are the husband of goddess of fortune. Indirectly he is saying, why you want to bring this misfortune to me? You're killing all my relatives, my family members, so near and dear one. All these things, so many things will happen. He says everything, all this will happen if this battle happens. Why do you want to bring this misfortune when you are husband of goddess of fortune? Like that. Then Krishna will call Arjuna, Buddha Kesa, that you have already win over the sleep, which is very difficult to overcome. What and all these things are nothing with you. Don't worry. Like this, Krishna is speaking by different names. Arjuna is telling, Ratham Sthapyam Achyuta. Is telling, oh Achyuta, kindly park the chariot in between the two armies. So there Prabhupada is explaining the purport that actually this Arjuna is addressing the Lord in very humble state of mind, not in the mood of ordering, that now he is sitting in a superior position as a charioteer and the Lord has become chariot driver. Doesn't mean that he's become superior than the Lord. The Lord is supreme personality of Godhead. So understand, Arjuna is a pure devotee, he understands this very well. So he's requesting the Lord in a very humble state of mind, and therefore he's addressing him Achyuta. Achyuta, there Prabhupada is explaining that who never fails to reciprocate with his devotees. The Lord is promised in Bhagavad Gita, na mam bhakta panashyati. My devotees can never be destroyed. Na mam bhaktya panashyati. So this is the promise of Krishna. Krishna is reciprocating. Arjuna saying, you have already taken the position of my chariot driver, and therefore I am humbly requesting. You are the same supreme personality of Godhead. I am humbly requesting kindly. So he is not ordering the Lord. Actually, there is a loving exchange. He's telling, oh my Lord, you are Achyuta, so now you should park the chariot. Also, with intimacy he is speaking. Similarly, Krishna also will speak so much intimately with Arjuna. So many different names are called Bharata. And then he will same verse he will call him Bharata and then Kaunteya. Then Prabhupada is explained that he is reminding greatness of Arjuna from both sides, mother side and father side. On father side he is coming in the lineage of Bharat Maharaj. And mother side Kaunteya. She is such a great personality, one of the uh, uh, chaste lady, if it is named, then Kunti Maharani is recalled. So you are coming in this line, Kaunteya, Bharat Maharaj, descendant of Bharat Maharaj. Why you want to spoil their name? Like this, like this is they are speaking with each other. So, beauty is they are saying something but not directly saying. And they also have this understanding that they are not ordinary personality. But is Krishna understand uh, uh, position of Arjuna in his life, what Arjuna means for me. And then Arjuna also knows that who is Krishna. So they're very carefully addressing each other, but sarcastically also they are calling by different names. It's all loving exchange. Prabhupada explains in all the purport. This is what it is going on. They are similarly how much intimate relationship is there between Krishna and Arjuna, that is mentioned in Bhagavatham. 10th canto, last chapter it is mentioned. Last chapter, 90th chapter, where a Brahmana is coming and in Dwaraka, and he is speaking all the ill words. To whom is saying all the ill words? To Krishna, to Balarama, and all the Yaduvansis. He is calling them. You become nobody is fit to be king here. Why he is speaking like this? Because his son is untimely dying. One son is born, and immediately the son is died. So those days, it was all ruled by courts of religion. So everything was perfect. There will be no drought, no natural disasters. People were very peaceful in mind. They were satisfied. They were following their swadharma, their occupational duties according to Varna Ashrama. Everything was very nice, and the kings were all Rajarshi, and they are making sure that everything goes perfectly, and they are personally taking charge. So this unnatural death. If it's taking place, then there is some fault in the the person who is ruling. So he just goes because father is there and son is born and immediately died. What is this? Therefore means some irreligion has taken place. So he goes and he's feeling so bad. And he is also in superior position as a Brahmana, and he goes and calls all the ill names. And Krishna, Balaram, and everybody they hears, and nobody speaks anything. And just this scene is over. Again, after some time, few years, he begets one child. The child takes birth and immediately dies. Like he hears the child sound crying and then dead. He gets super agitated. The Brahmana will come and again he will speak all the ill words just outside the court of this. It's called the court of Lord Krishna in Dwaraka. They brought it from the heaven. In this court, nobody will feel disturbed by all material things. No hunger, no anxiety, no fear. People will feel very comfortable. So that kind of hall. He comes and he speaks all sorts of things and became very depressed. Nobody says anything to him. And nobody is really willing to take any challenge. Who is like, why you're saying like this? What is this? How can you say like this? Because he first of all addresses to Krishna and Balaram, and they keep quiet. So the others are seeing that they are himself keeping quiet. So everybody is following their footsteps. Everybody is keeping quiet. It's like we say Daksha and Lord Shiva in Brahma's court. Then Daksha Prajapati walks in and speaks all the sorts of bad things to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva keeps quiet. But foolishly, his followers, they get into all sorts of front and back argument, and so many chaos takes place. So, but here in this court of Dwarka, nobody is daring to say anything because they are watching. Krishna and Balaram, they are not affected at all, and they themselves are not reacting to this anything. Why we should get into trouble? Do they understand there is something mysterious? So everybody keeps quiet, and this keeps happening 9 times. 9 times this happening, and this becomes a regular affairs. And one time, 10th time, somehow or other Arjuna is there when the son is dying, and then this Brahmana comes and he just every time is very frustrated. Actually, all the Dwarka Vasis, they love Krishna as their life and soul. So there is nothing like he wants to intentionally blaspheme the Lord just because of his agitation, his disturbance. Is coming and pouring out everything. So then he is saying, and then Arjuna is also sitting. This is first encounter of Arjuna like this, and he becomes very disturbed. Immediately, he takes, how dare you, speak like this? I am Gandiodhari, holding this Gandiva, I have taken the bow. And then he all boasts himself, I am not Krishna and Balaram. Like this, he keeps boosting like a Kshatriya spirit. He gets inside the scene, and immediately promises, here I promise you, that if I am not able to bring back your child, not able to protect your child, I will enter into fire. Like this he promises. And then because he spoke so much, then actually the Brahmana gets little hope. Okay, maybe he can do something. So far, so many times I came, nobody even is, opened their mouth. Uh, and Arjuna is also very famous personality, so he got little hope. But he's telling what you will do. Krishna and Balaram, they themselves are not doing anything. What you can do? Then only Arjuna is telling, you don't know, I am not Krishna and Balaram. So he is trying to give him hope. Then Brahmana, okay, let us see. He also understands there is some super power which is beyond. And because of all this is happening, it should not happen where the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself is there. It should not happen. There's something very special, very mysterious. He understanding, but out of his feeling, he speaks all this. So he goes back. Then Arjuna, at right time, when child is going to take birth, he is with his bow and arrow is there. And Krishna also is accompanying him. Let us see what my devotee is going to do. And then he covers up the whole place with his arrows. Even the wind cannot move. Arjuna is telling, I can control the wind, but I can't control the mind. So he is able to control everything. And at one point of time, the child is taking birth and is crying. And now the child and arrow, everything is lost. Along with the arrow, child has gone. Now Arjuna is perplexed. What is this? Then with his Arjuna has developed so many mystic powers. So with his mystic power, he goes everywhere. He goes to Yamaraj Puri, then he goes to Swarga, Avantika, then he goes to Brahmapuri also. Everywhere he goes and searches, where are the child, where are my arrows, but he never finds anything there. And all the round he's gone to all 20 places. Even the Sutala, Patala also he went and came back. And he could not find the children, could not find his arrows. And then he becomes very morose. Then the Brahmana is getting in his case, and is telling, see, simply you are boosting. No, you actually no blood in the only water. All the sorts of things, he becomes very disturbed. That simply his namesake only, Arjuna. Like that he starts speaking, and Arjuna also feeling very depressed. And now he is ready because he has taken the vow. He becomes very depressed, and he wants to enter into fire. He's setting up the fire to putting the fire and wants to enter. And then Krishna is watching. Oh, what is this? What going to happen? Then Krishna is stopping him. This is the meaning of Achyutha. All this time Krishna did not stop. Why he stops now? Arjuna, don't enter into fire. Let us go find all the children. Because the Lord, he's never failing to reciprocate with his devotee. Now his devotee is in difficulty. So now Krishna is personally taking the task. So far he was not involved. So Krishna immediately calls for his chariot. Daruka comes and his chariot driver comes and all gets inside the chariot, and he calls it, now let us go. And then Krishna directly takes him, crossing all those 7 oceans. Then he is entering into the cell of the Brahmanda. So it's all described. So Krishna actually in this material world, when Krishna appears, he actually performs human-like activities. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he will act all this as in the role of human being. Though he is Supreme Personality of God, he is acting like a human being. So all these things will be there, that they will be very dark, and his horses also will not like to enter, because in the dark who will like to go? Completely fully dark. That darkness means there is no even one light worm also not there. Nothing, fully dark everywhere, very thick darkness. the horses are not willing to go. Then Lord takes his Sudarsana Chakra, and Sudarsana Chakra is going front, and everything is lit up. So like this he goes, and it's very nicely explained that the Lord is breaking out the coverings of the universe, and now he is entering into, when the sale is over, then Krishna enters into Brahma Jyoti, because outside the Brahmanda there is a Brahma Jyoti. Then Brahma Jyoti is there. Suddenly there was so much darkness, and it comes so much of effulgence that Arjuna has to close his eyes. So much clearing, because the effulgence of the Lord's body, the Brahma Jyoti is the effulgence of Lord's body himself. So Arjuna is not able to bear that type of effulgence. And then Lord explaining him that this effulgence is not different from me. He's explaining that it's a transcendental rays coming from my spiritual, my body. So then they, both of them, they go inside and they enter into Karana ocean. Which is mentioned. The Karana ocean also is described, it is spiritual ocean. And this is spiritual ocean. It is so beautiful that Arjuna is very perplexed. How such a nice place exists anywhere. In this way, Krishna enters inside the palace. The palace also, seeing that palace, Arjuna wonders that ever such palace can exist. Each one of the columns and each of the everything, actually, even small particles cannot be compared with the worth of all the universe. So valuable, everything is glittering. Arjuna is feeling very, very satisfied and very happy. And then he entering inside this palace, and then he's taking darshan of Ananta says. Then he's taking darshan of Mahavishnu. And then Mahavishnu, when Lord sees, immediately Krishna will pay obeisances. Then Prabhupada is explaining, actually Mahavishnu is the plenary extension of the Lord Krishna. So he does not have to pay obeisances. But Krishna is paying obeisances to set up the standard. Because see, this is the meaning of Achyutha. He is not failing. While paying obeisances or performing any such pastimes, actually it is not that the Lord comes down. It is the Lord is lesser. It's not meaning of that. Meaning of that is that how the Lord is not failing to do something which is supposed to be done. So he is performing a human-like pastimes, and he sees the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Immediately he pays obeisances, and Arjuna is perplexed, bewildered, seeing everything is very bewildered. But he's seeing only Krishna is paying obeisances, let me also pay. Till then he is not able to think anything. Completely stunned and surprised, all seeing everything. Even the Supreme Personality of Godhead is there. He is forgetting. But Krishna is paying, so he is also paying the obeisances. Here, Prabhupada is explaining that why Krishna did not, there Mahavishnu is telling that both Krishna and Arjuna is addressing, and is telling that you are the extensions of Nara and Narayana. He's telling like that there. Actually, I wish to see Krishna. Therefore, I have played all this. I made these arrangements. I got these children. I brought these children so that I will be able to see Krishna. So the Mahavishnu is addressing and saying this, and then he returns the children, and then Krishna and Arjuna, they come back and give these children back to Brahmana and becomes very happy. So there Prabhupada is explaining why Mahavishnu personally is coming to bring the children. He can send some of his assistants, and they can go and bring the children. Yamaraja comes and he takes away people. They die and they are taken by Yamaraja's servants, Yamdutas. And Mahavishnu, what to speak about him? So many Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Kshirodakshay Vishnu, there's expansions of the Lord. Why he has to come personally? Prabhupada is explaining there, because in Dwaraka it is not possible for anybody else to take away somebody like this. No, Brahmana, he is a Brahmana, and he is staying in Dwaraka, and untimely all these things are happening, and not one, two times, so many times, and he is also means speaking all the ill words and coming back. So all this scene is going on, everybody knows, and nobody else has any such capacity to take the children like this. Nobody can actually is capable of doing that. Only Mahavishnu can do personally. If he wants the children to be brought, he has to personally go. Then he goes personally and brings these children. This he is doing personally. That's what he is telling there when seeing Krishna and Arjuna. I brought these children here. You can take them. I just wanted to see Krishna. So then it is further these things Prabhupada is explaining that, okay, he has come to Dwaraka 9 times. You would have gone and seen Krishna. Why he has to give so much trouble for Krishna to come here, to Arjuna and Krishna to come there? He wants to see Krishna, he would have gone to Dwaraka. So there it is means Prabhupada is explaining from the previous Acharya's purports. Prabhupada is saying, actually, Mahavishnu would have gone to see Krishna, but Krishna actually does not wanted to see Mahavishnu. So Krishna also performing pastimes, so he doesn't want Mahavishnu to come. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will not allow his devotees to call him, you are the Supreme Personality of God in Narayana. Somebody says you are Narayana, immediately he will close his ears and he will jump into Ganga. What you are seeing, Jiva can never become Iswara. He is performing the pastime, so he doesn't want to get into Rasabhas. So the Lord Krishna does not want Mahavishnu to come into his court. So because Krishna does not want, Mahavishnu is not able to see him. So then he is taking all these things are happening. So many times it is happening, but still Krishna is not going. One time, two times, so many times Krishna does not want to go, he is not going. But when it comes to this deadlock, that Arjuna speaks like this and he gives the promise, and then all this happens and is now has to enter into the fire. Now Krishna gets locked. Now what? Nothing can be done. He has to go and bring the children, otherwise he will lose his devotee. So he was so much intimately connected with Arjuna. It means in so much in his life that he is taking all this trouble and telling, let us go now. And he is going and claiming the children, bringing the children. The children also grown up. We can see 10th children only Krishna went and brought. So many other children, they are already grown up. And with the grown up children, Krishna and Balarama, Krishna and Arjuna, they are coming and handing over to the Brahmana. They describe. So we can see that here it is said that the Lord is coming from the spiritual world. Spiritual is Kaisi Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki jai, Nitai Gaur Sundar ki jai, Patit Pavan Prabhupada ki jai. So why is called Achyutha here? Because when the ordinary living entities, you're coming into this material world, actually they are subjected to 3 modes. They have to change their spiritual body. This should be covered with material body. Material body also keeps changing. So the living entities are called chara. They have to keep changing their position. But the Lord is he is the controller of the material nature. He is not subjected to any material laws. He doesn't have to change his body. He comes as his own. Sachidananda Vigraha. So in his own Swarupa is coming. The Lord Vishnu is appearing in this arena. Does not mean that he is changing his form and coming, or he is taking another body and coming. Lord is not obliged or forced to do any such things. He comes as it is. He can walk in and walk out as and when he wants. So the Lord is called Achyutha. We see there demoniac class of people, asuras, they will say, what is this? Huh? He has taken the form. When the Lord is actually impersonal, huh? And when he has to come into this material world, that same Brahman has to, when come into material world, it takes the material form. Hmm? But actually, absolute truth is it is Brahman, it is impersonal. And when he's appearing here, you see Rama, Krishna, and all these things. No, these are only material forms. That's how people say. And Krishna is telling only Muda, the fools and rascals derides me when I am appearing as a human being. They're thinking that I am human being, or I am having material body. No, Lord is as He is the same in His spiritual form. He is descending. So why it is so? It means how this is what is actually highlighted by saying here Achyutha. It is mentioned here, no, that the infallible supreme personality of Godhead, having captivated the minds of kings and priests who were present, returned to his abode in the spiritual sky. So the Lord came and Lord left as he is in his spiritual form. This is highlighted by saying Achyutha. And then here, another important point in purport Prabhupada is mentioning that the Lord is captivating minds of king and the priest who were present. So that is actually speciality of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is Sad Aswarapurna, having infinite beauty, infinite fame, infinite knowledge, infinite power, infinite renunciation, all these things infinite degree, and is all everything attracts to the mind of the living entity, or mind of anybody. So when the Lord is present, He is appeared in the arena, everybody is captivated. The king, the priest, and everybody who were present are captivated by just looking at the Lord. By His influence is all pervading. Everybody is captivated. And actually, the Lord has gone, but the all people present, their mind has also gone with the Lord. Being captivated with on the Lord, they also it has also gone. They are only thinking about the Lord. This is how the Lord is influencing. This one of the purpose when the Lord is coming is this, that He is coming to give pleasure to His devotees. That is actually the main purpose, coming to give pleasure to His devotees. So whenever the Lord appears, naturally the devotees are inclined towards the Lord, and their mind is captivated, and it comes fully gets absorbed, and they experience infinite, eternal happiness. So the Lord is just coming to expose this, coming to provide this, give it to devotees to nourish them spiritually. This is the main purpose the Lord appears. So here, when the Lord is gone, everybody is captivated. And then actually uh, they start feeling separation. They, so far they were with the Lord, now they are not able to see Him, not able to hear Him. So it starts feeling separation. The heart starts hankering again to get the same association of the Lord. Like gopis, they when Krishna left, they were thinking about Krishna more than when he was there. Yeah, they are thinking 24 hours with much more intensity. They are thinking of Krishna. Actually, when Krishna actually disappears like this, it increases their love for him. This is so performing devotional service in mood of separation. That is actually the speciality of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. That uh, we are performing, we are trying to follow the footsteps of Sad Goswamis, who stayed in Vrindavan and performed so many types of services, always feeling separation of Krishna. That we sing this Sad Goswami Ashtakam. They always think, Hey Radhike, Hey Braja Devike, Hey Lalite, uh, calling the names of Krishna, calling the names of Radharani, and they are just running around forest and going to banks of Yamuna, going near Govardhan and searching out where Krishna, where Radharani, and completely mood of feeling separation from the Lord. Uh, so that is the they have adopted that mood, and Prabhupada is explaining that is actually the highest type of worship, and is more intimately and intensely connected with the Lord in the separation. They are so much always thinking about the Lord. Prabhupada is telling there that the mood of separation is we don't want to enjoy Krishna, we want to serve him. This is the mood. What we want? We want to serve Krishna, not enjoy him. So we are not immediately qualified to be serving the Lord. We just continue our service, thinking that by continue our service, one day we will be qualified to properly serve Him. Not that we prematurely start thinking, no, I am also gopis, or I am also like that. Is even in we should not talk about this. But uh, that's what is uh, 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 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching, that we should try to serve the Lord in the feeling of separation, thinking that by continuing my devotional service, one day I will become qualified and I'll get association of the Lord by mercy of the Lord. Any question is there? 5 minutes there. In this, it is mentioned that the Vishnu who appeared in the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Prithu as a Chirodakshai Vishnu. Chirodakshai Vishnu. The Lord Chirodakshai Vishnu, he appeared and then he went back. Which place Chirodakshai Vishnu is staying? Svetadipa. Svetadipa, though it is part of the material world, actually it is a spiritual sky. Like Vrindavan, all the Kirtans we know, these are there in the material world, but this is spiritual abode, because by the presence of the Lord, it's a Lord Swadhama, own abode. So similarly, in this material world, there are so many lokas are there. The Svetadipa is also there. The Svetadipa, though it is material world, it is not material world. It is a spiritual world. The Lord is staying there. Swadhama, the Lord's own abode, this spiritual sky. So the Lord actually goes back there. This same Chirodakshai Vishnu, he is expanding himself and being Paramatma with each atom and all the living entities. He is there present as Paramatma. The same Lord who is sitting in the heart of Prithu Maharaj and all the priests and all of others living entity everywhere, the same Lord actually he has appeared. He is descending from Svetadipa and is there in front of them. And when he is there in front of them, it is a special mercy of the Lord that everybody's mind is captivated. Before that, the same Lord is there inside heart, but nobody was thinking about him. People were busy, all of them were busy in doing all the rituals, sacrifices. But the Lord, out of his mercy, has appeared, and they're getting chance to see him, to hear him. So, and this actually captivates their mind. So it is a special mercy of the Lord that he is giving a special super duper bonus. He is presenting himself. So we see similarly Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj is meditating on the super soul inside his heart. He is very in deep meditation, and suddenly he sees that super soul is not there. So he becomes very agitated. Why he becomes agitated? Yeah, why he then feeling disturbed? Because so far he was enjoying that spiritual rasa, and suddenly he is lost. So something, if we are given very nice thing, and if somebody takes away from that, we feel, what is this? We feel lost. if he is feeling lost, mind is getting agitated, then he is opening his eyes, and for his surprise, he is saying the same personality is standing in front of him now. Hmm? Now he becomes so ecstatic, he says that all Ashtasattvik vikaras are placed in his body. Yeah, hairs and standing on the end, tears constantly flowing from his eyes, his whole body shivering, and all these things. Very surprised, he does not know what to do. He's just going down to the Lord and kissing the lotus feet of the Lord. Is so much happy, and he is not able to glorify properly because he is not been educated. So he perplexed what to say. The Lord understands his mind and touches his counsel end with his head. Then he gets all the vidya. He then starts glorifying the Lord in the choicest poetry, Uttama Sloka. And then he glorifies the Lord. So the same Lord who was there in the heart now had appeared in front of him. The same Lord who were there in heart of everybody appeared as a Vishnu form in fire sacrifice, and he is living also. At the same time, he is there in the heart, and they also seeing him is going. That is Lord's actually special supreme power, that he is able to simultaneously stay in one place and stay in all the places. And he also looks like he's going, he's sitting in everybody's heart, but it looks like he's going now. So, so the Chirodakshai Vishnu is one of the Purusha who controls the material modes of nature. So we know this three Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So Krishna, Lord Brahma is staying in Brahma Loka, and Lord Shiva is staying in Kailas. Where Vishnu is staying? Shvetadvipa. The same Vishnu is staying in Shvetadvipa, who is Chirodakshai Vishnu, who is also Paramatma in everyone's heart. Same Vishnu, who is the controller of all the three modes, he is appearing in the sea. So this is the description here. Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Patit Pawan Prabhupada ki jai. Uh, Yes. 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 When he's closing, he wants to set the example. No, it's not never, speak like this. It's a gravest offense. And when he is performing this, is along with his devotees, then naturally he is, presenting himself. He is, cannot hide himself, no. Cannot hide himself in the so much intimate relationship with his devotees that sometimes he is opening up, and when sometimes he is performing his human-like pastimes. So all this is there. Therefore, the Lord's activities are transcendental. It's not under three modes. The Lord is free, independent to act as he like, and we are forced to act according to our three modes. Whichever mode is heaviest is dominating, according to that we are acting in the combination of three modes. But the Lord is supremely independent, as he likes, he is performing his pastimes. Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Pati Panch Prabhupada ki jai.